Welcome back to Walk Wisely podcast. Today it's a special episode, I can say, because I've got this burning desire to say something. It's in my chest, and then I think maybe it's gonna help someone there. Maybe it can fix things, maybe not. But I hope it does go and fix someone's life or someone's mentality, change the way they think or something. So once again, welcome to Walk Wisely. Please like, share, subscribe. So we can grow. So what happened is 2 weeks back I was watching a video on a black pen. He was hosting two giants. But before I get there was a video that I was watching Nhlanhla Lux. Nhlanhla Lux was on the Hustlers Corner with DJ Sbu. So shout out to DJ Sbu, shout out to Nhlanhla Lux, shout out to the Black Pen Show. Shout out to Julius Malema, all of them, shout out to them. So if anyone else listening out there, I want these 4 people to listen the most. These 4 people, if those people can listen, for me that's a viral. If those 4 people can listen, for me that's a viral video. So what I want to bring is, on the Black Pen Show, there are 2 guests, one South African and one Zimbabwean. And then the host asked the guys, what do you think is the solution to the xenophobic attack or xenophobia in South Africa? So the one Zimbabwean guy said he brought up history and how South Africa owes Zimbabwe favor for helping them with apartheid and stuff like that. And then also the South African guy, he had something to say, but at the end he said, all foreigners must go back home. So my view to that is, both of them, they didn't give a Black Pen the answer that he was looking for. That is my view. So I'm here to also answer Black Pen to that question. What can be the solution? So I'm trying to give Black Pen the answer that they didn't give him, his host didn't give him. So number one, what is this thing of xenophobia? What's the problem? The real problem we have in Africa, in South Africa, is the lack of good education. The education system is fucked up. Everyone knows this, and no one acts upon this. Everyone knows that the education system in South Africa and in Africa is shambles. Is very shambles. And number two thing is that the misconception to why there's a lot of foreigners in South Africa. There's misconception about that, so I want to also address that. So I'm going to look at the problems, and then after the problem, I'm going to look at the solution, and I'm going to look at the conclusion to where's this whole thing, if you practice the solution, where it's going to take us, and if you don't do nothing, where is it going to take us? So problem number 3, in South Africa, the world, 90% of the world is in the hands of the minority. And when I say minority, it's those capitalists, and these guys are white folks. The people who owns the Pick and Pay, the people who owns the Checkers, the ShopRite, and all that. These people, they're capitalists. None of this money belongs to a black South African. So only 10% of the GDP of South Africa goes to the black people. That's, for me, that is insane. That's what we need to change the most. That's what we need to change the most. And then the other problem I had is people don't understand what's happening in Africa. People don't understand why foreigners and refugees are flocking in from Africa into South Africa. People don't understand. So the ordinary South African sitting in the corner by Pakistani container asking for 2 rand. They don't understand this. They don't understand the situation they're in. They don't understand why are there more foreigners in South Africa than any other country in Africa. Okay, so I'm here to address a little bit background of that and give the solution. What I think is the solution that the Black Pen was asking that those 2 gentlemen couldn't give him. Yes, those 2 gentlemen, they have a voice. They are well known in the community, especially on social media. They have a voice, they are lawyers and stuff like that. But they didn't give him an answer that could satisfy the people, the answer that could actually bring a solution. So I want to touch on the wealth being in the wrong hands. South African wealth is in the wrong hands. Why do I say that? Most black South Africans are poor. Imagine 90% of the money in South Africa belongs to the capitalists, the whites. I'm not trying to be racist or anything. Just take that 90% belong to 90% belong to this minority capitalists, and only 10% belong to the indigenous people of South Africa, which is wrong. So we need to find balance. When we find balance of that, everything will seem to be in place. Because I don't think for 1 second that there's any black South African that who hates foreigners, but they hate the situation they're in. And you get syndicates driving those movements and dragging people. They don't explain to them exactly what needs to be done and what is happening. They just syndicate, they go and mobilize people and say we're going to start Operation Dudula, Operation this, Operation that, which is wrong. We need to make people understand first. The people need to understand first what's going on. Why are the African people flocking out of Africa and coming here in this country? You know, people need to understand that. So once there's a balance between wealth in this country, no South African person will leave their job and worry about a foreigner that is working for Pakistan for 3,000 rand per month or 2,700. No South African will worry about that. If every South African is satisfied, education-wise, life-wise, no one will ever worry about which foreign is in this country or whatever the case might be. So it's very imperative for us to teach the ordinary South Africans what's going on in this country, politically and otherwise. I'm not a politician, this is just my view. I feel like I need to voice out this. Yes, I don't have voice like some other guys that was on the pen show, but yeah, this is Talk Wisely. We're trying to walk different paths, different views of life. We're trying to look at life in a different angle, alternatively what we can do about this. So I want to come to the problem of what's happening in Africa. So what's really happening in Africa is that these so-called capitalists, they're disturbing those countries purposely so those people can relocate and come here and give them these jobs that pay them less. You know, there's war that you can't understand why there's war. There's conflict, there's anger there, that side, you don't understand why that country is suffering. These things are caused, some of these things, if not most, some of these things are caused by these capitalists that side. The war in Africa, you know, the anger in Sudan, in Somalia, in Malawi, in Mozambique, all these things are caused by these capitalists. So everybody look at South Africa as the United States of Africa, where they can come and find the greener pasture. But the greener pasture they're finding here is 2,700 per month, 3,000 rand. Now, if black South African were in a better position, they wouldn't mind who's coming to take that 3,000 rand job. They wouldn't mind. So we need to balance the wealth of this country, South Africa. If that is done, the wealth of the people of South Africa is balanced, no one will ever care who's here illegally or legal. In fact, there are black South Africans that will be the bosses of those who are coming from outside. And that is the truth, and that's what ordinary South Africans need to know. The capitalists are disturbing other countries, so that those people in other countries, they can come here and do their jobs here and do the labor here. You understand? So South Africa right now is a big labor market right now. You get people that are coming from all different countries and they paid peanuts, which some of South African people, they cannot agree on those money that are paid to the people. So it's very ridiculous. It's very ridiculous. We have to look also at the education system. The education system is very poor. For me, the education system is fucked up. It's very bad. So they teach you to follow. They don't teach you to create, to be who you are, to be prosperous. I think the education system is one of the things that's contributing to all this mess we're seeing in Africa and in South Africa. Because the education system is supposed to be that of empowering, not following, not you must be behind a boss, you must work for someone. How many people are graduates? People were crying for fees must fall. Fees were falling. But after a degree, what you're doing? How many people are sitting around with degrees? 2 degrees, 3 degrees. How many people are sitting around with those degrees? So the education system needs to change. And I hear most people, they know this, that the education system is fucked up, but what are they doing to change it? Can we talk about this? Can ordinary South Africans know this thing? Can they talk about this and actually put plan in motion? That's why I saluted Nhlanhla Lux with Soweto Parliament for the work that they're doing. You understand? Because that shows that they are the people who put action behind the words. When you put action behind the word, you're actually going to move forward. So ordinary South Africans, they need to know all about this. It's not only the fact that there's people from outside flocking in this country. What are they running away from there? What's causing them to come this side? What's causing them to just flock? And that's what we need to look at. And then the solution of saying you must send them back or deport them, it's not going to be fixed today. How many people are you going to send back today? Today you can send 500,000 and tomorrow 500,000. The government will be tired. At the same time, the South African government, their hands is tied. As soon as South Africa started keep taking people out of this country, South Africa will start receiving sanctions. Sanctions from left, right, center. You understand? Because the moment South Africa close their border, the UN, all these big names, Commonwealth will be at South African throats, at the South African government throats. They'll give South Africa sanction. So there's a way we can find solution to this thing. There's a solution to this thing. So that's how I'm responding to Black Pen Show's podcast. I don't know. Yeah, the name of that specific episode was xenophobia, and I think whatever that I'm going to talk about will be the solution to that, which is well known, or to most people who are educated, is well known to most. So as we move along, I was getting too emotional. This thing, I had 2 days, sleepless 2 days. I couldn't sleep about this matter. I wanted to speak about it. Maybe I'm not articulating it the way I'm supposed to, because English is not my mother tongue or anything, but I'm trying my best to. So I can go through the points that I mentioned. The cause of this is poor education system. Another thing is misconception. Locals, they don't know anything about why foreigners are here, what's happening out there. They don't know. If their lifestyle were better, if they were having better education, better job, they wouldn't care who's here. No one South African hates foreigners. Another point is the wealth of this country needs to be distributed equally among the black people. Yes, I'm not saying at the hands of destroying white people's the capitalist business. No, it's not at the hands of detrimenting the white capitalists. No, we need to find a way that we can balance the money of this country, the GDP of this country, so it can go to black people. That's what I say. That was another problem. Another problem is what's happening in Africa as a whole. There's so many things happening in Africa, and no one is mentioning that could be also the cause. These 4 things are contributing to why there's so many foreigners flocking in this country. So now I'm going to talk about some of the things that I think will be the solution. So solution number 1 will be, let's change the system of education. If we change the system of education, we're going to have people who are creative, people who are productive, people who are better at what they do instead of just being followers. For number 1 example, why do we have Toyota, VW manufactured outside and assembled here? Why can't we make our own car here in Africa? Why can't we make our own VW, our own Toyota? Why can't we do that? Why can't we have better manufacturers? Why can't we have better engineers? You send people to school, but what are they doing? They're just there to follow. When are they going to lead? So the education system just form them to follow. The education system is supposed to give them a foundation for them to create. They're supposed to be creating. What are the engineers of South Africa producing? What are the farmers of South Africa? Black, when I say farmers and engineers, I'm talking about black. We have all the materials right here. Why they can't produce in mass quantity engines, car chassis, which they can assemble and give it a name and give it a brand. So they can say this is a brand, this is a car from South Africa, made and created by black people. Even India's got a car. Mahindra is from India. Why can't we have a car from here? Why can't we produce coffee from here? Why can't we have a Pick and Pay or a Checkers or a Boxer that is owned solely by black people? Why we can't have that? Why? Because our education system only propels us to follow. It does not propel us to lead and create. That's why I said the education system is fucked up. We need to change that. As soon as that is changed, we're not going to have an unemployment rate of 35%, and most of them is youth. We're not going to have that. when you change the education system. That is my solution number one. My solution number two, black people in South Africa need to know what else is going outside there. We need to educate black people in South Africa what else is going outside there. There's so many political war that is going outside there in Africa, and it's caused by these so-called capitalists. You know, they cause war that side, and when people flock here, they take the same people and put them in jobs that they're paying them less. You know, someone who working for a Pakistani, someone who working for 3,000, 2,700. Man, even me, I wouldn't take that job. So we need to inform the locals, we need to inform the indigenous people of South Africa to what exactly is going on there, what's causing people coming here. When we inform them, they have knowledge. So even when a syndicate come trying to change their mind, they already know, no, you can't make me fight against another black person. That is solution number two. Maybe that one will require its own video so I can go into details. Solution number three, let's recreate wealth that is gonna belong only to black people. That's why I mentioned the manufacturers. That's why I mentioned the farmers. That's why I mentioned so many things in those lines. We need to recreate wealth that belong only to black South African, black African. We don't have that in Africa. We don't have anything that we can hold on to that we say this is ours, we created. And it's pained me so much in my heart that there's nothing of ours. If you read the name of iPhone is US and China. You name Dell is from there, Mahindra is from there, everything is from outside. When are we gonna have our own thing as African, as South African? When are we gonna have our own thing that we manufactured from here, by the people from here, everything? Because we have all the material. What's stopping us from doing that? You know, maybe also that point also deserve another video, because we can talk about what's stopping them. But here we're trying to find solution. These things I'm mentioning here, these are the solutions that can eliminate poverty in this country, that can eliminate inequality in this country, that can eliminate this xenophobic attack. What is this? Solution number three. Solution number three is no, that was number three. Solution number four. Black South Africans need to retain the land. Shout out to Julius Malema. Julius Malema came up with that. In fact, even named his political party Economic Freedom Fighters. So, if the people don't have the land, what they have? Nothing. What did the people of South Africa inherit from their great-grandfather? Nothing. Even the land, the most of it belongs to these capitalists. So how the people of this country one day they're gonna wake up and say, okay, I have that, I have that. No, they won't, because most of the land belongs to the capitalists. It's a shame. It's a very bad thing. It's I don't know. It's beyond me to read and Google and see how much percentage of the land belongs to the black people in this country. It's very sad. That's why you see there's places in Guguletu, Kailicha, Tembisa, Kwamash, Mlazi. You see these sharks crowded in one place. Why? Because they're not allowed. They're not allowed to go and occupy that land. They're not allowed to go do things in different land. Because the land does not belong to the black people of this place. Only a small percentage. The land itself does not belong to these people of this place. Which for me that is detrimental. For me that is worse. You know, because what did your ancestor left you with? All these people who died, the Mandelas and the Mandelas and the Steve Bikos, what did they die for? Understand? So that is solution number 4. And last solution that I think need to be dealt with is African and South African need to go into business together. Forget about the Western, forget about the Eastern, forget about this Commonwealth and whatever. African countries need to go to business together. I want to see more black South Africans go and invest in Cameroon, go and invest in Congo, get knowledge from there, get experience of life from there, get experience of what's going on that side, invest in that side. As we're speaking, there's more land occupied by these so-called UNHCR, all these things. But when are we going to collaborate as African at the low level? At the low level, not diplomatic level, but low level. We do business together. We invest in things together. We do things together. When are we going to do that? That's another solution. Once we have that, we're going to have money that only belongs to black people. We're going to have money that only belongs to black people. We can be powerful when we do that. We can be very powerful when we do that. So yeah, please guys, these are the solutions that I think they can change the face of Africa, they can change the face of South Africa and prevent these so-called xenophobic attack, this so-called Dudula thing. All these solutions can change that. In conclusion, guys, those were my thoughts on the problem and the solution. In conclusion, if we don't put in place and in motion all these solutions, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem in this country, we're going to have a problem in South Africa, we're going to have a problem in the continent. You know why? We need to raise both black communities. Our community need to be rich. For all the problem to go away, the drug problem, the prostitution, all of that will go away if our communities are rich. Because when you're rich, you won't do things that are stupid. When you're rich, you won't do things that you're not supposed to do. So in that saying, let's please raise a wealthy black community everywhere in Gugulethu, Nyanga, Kailicha, Kwamashu, Mlazi, Tembisa, Soweto. Let's raise a wealthy community. Once we have a wealthy community, we won't have all these problems. Because remember, every big empire in the history have fallen, and we keep repeating the same mistake. Every empire have fallen. As we're speaking now, South Africa it's looked as one of the power in Africa, one of the big power, if not the biggest power, one of the big power in Africa, along with Nigeria and Kenya and Egypt. These are the big power. And remember, all the empire that have been in existence before, somehow in some way they've fallen. Why? Because people keep making the same mistake. People keep making the same mistake. So we need to change the way we think. We need to change our perspective. We should be working wisely. We should be working wisely. We can recreate wealth from whatever we have. From whatever they have left, we can recreate that. So that's the solution, I think. And that's the answer to the question that the Black Pen was asking those two gentlemen on his show. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you. It's your boy McMesh. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this. What else? What changes you think we can do, or what you think about the video? What you think about those who were on Black Pen's show, the gentleman that he was talking to? So we can also communicate. We can all communicate and participate into this. I feel for Africa so much. I feel for South Africa so much. I am African, so everything that's happening for me is a pain. We need to work together. We need to raise our community up consciously and financially, and all the problems will go away. Thank you so much. Peace.